What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I've got a pretty big update in terms of everything that happened in California this past week with professional athlete swimmer Riley Gaines and a mob of people that held her against her will. Now, we saw over the weekend that she had indicated, and I think rightfully so, that she would be pressing charges. And I think that's a great thing to do. I absolutely support that. But now we've got a new development where the university has actually come out and issued a statement about the upheaval. And you might be shocked. Now, leave a like if you're really just super shocked. You might be shocked to know that they doubled down and supported the protesters and then blocked people supporting Riley Gaines. I am not kidding you whatsoever at all. And we're going to get into that whole story after a super quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. Now, if you're following along with the story, you know that there's, a situation where Riley Gaines is out there. She's a competitive athlete in women's sports, and she has some opinions around whether or not biological men should be able to compete against biological women in sports, gender-specific sports. I've made the argument before that there are certainly sports competitive events that maybe don't need like a biological separation. Maybe like trap, chess, maybe there's a bunch. But I guess like when you're talking about things that require feats of strength, I don't think it's crazy to say like, hey, there's a woman's tee on a golf course for a reason, all this kind of stuff, right? So San Francisco sent the following email about Riley Gaines. Dear San Francisco State community, today, San Francisco finds itself again at the center of national discussion regarding freedom of speech and expression. Let me begin by saying, clearly, the trans community is welcome and belongs at San Francisco State University. Sure, fine. Okay, I would assume everyone else would be too. Further, our community fiercely believes in unity, connection, care, and compassion, and we value different ideas, even when they're not our own. Well, I don't think that's actually how it looked. I think you had somebody trapped in a room for 3 hours. They had to miss their flight. You had people demanding money in exchange for their release. San Francisco State is regularly noted as one of the most diverse campuses in the United States. That's probably true. This is what makes us Gators, and this is what makes us great. Diversity promotes critical discussions, new understandings, and enriches the academic experience. But we may find ourselves exposed to divergent views, and even more views we find personally abhorrent. That is, of course, Riley Gaines, I would imagine, and her wild opinion that biological women who are competing for scholarships and jobs and things like that should only compete against biological women in feats of strength. These encounters have sometimes led to discord, anger, confrontation, and fear. We must meet this moment and unite with a shared value of learning. Thank you to our students who participated peacefully in Thursday's evening's event. It was not peaceful. there are many video, evidence breakdowns that it was not peaceful. It took tremendous bravery to stand in a challenging space. I'm proud of those moments where we listened and asked insightful questions. I'm proud of the moments where our students demonstrated the value of free speech and the right to protest peacefully. These issues do not go away. These values are very much at our core. At what point do you mention where people were hitting and punching? This feels different because it's difficult. As you reflect, process, and begin to heal, remember that people are people. Resources, services availability, ready to receive our Gator community, including faculty, staff members, coaches, and mentors, are here to support. Literally what? You see, San Francisco State University says nothing about people, hitting Riley Gaines, instead saying students participated peacefully and how the school is very proud. See, Lori Miller, they assaulted a woman, UPOS. There are videos of the triggered psycho minions, anything but peaceful. Riley Gaines responds, I'm sorry, did they just say peaceful? I was assaulted. I was extorted and held for ransom. The protesters demanded I pay them if I wanted to make it back home safely. I missed my flight home because I was barricaded in a classroom. We must have different definitions of peaceful. She goes on to say, I have no problem with peaceful protests. I actually welcome it. It was grateful to see a diverse crowd in the room during my speech, in which I expressed multiple times. We had great dialogue and listened to each other, but that ambush was the opposite of peaceful. Of course, sharing the videos. This is, again, fiery, but mostly peaceful. You see here, Riley Gaines rejects SFSU's statement suggesting students protested peacefully. Former NCAA swimmer Riley Gaines reacted to an email San Francisco State University sent to students following protests at TPUSA event, where Gaines gave a speech and criticized the claim that students protested peacefully. In the email posted to Twitter by David Lamas, a TPUSA college field representative, thanked students who peacefully protested. I mean, what? I mean, just to put it all in perspective, freedom of speech, all this kind of stuff, right? Here you see Riley saying, the woman who released the statement following the riot where I was verbally and physically hit at SFSU, to which she called peaceful, blocked me. I guess it's easier to ignore me than to denounce the bad behavior against women. She won't be able to ignore my lawsuit. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to lawsuits, right? I bet you she's on private now. And yep, they are. Tweets go protected. So this is Jamila Moore with 23 followers, an author, a scholar, an advocate, immediately protects their tweets. Something about freedom of speech comes to mind. You see Dr. Jamila Moore, you can block Riley Gaines and now me, but when a process server hands you the legal papers that you are being sued for enabling people to raise their hands against women, you won't be able to block the judicial system. When will you stand with women's rights? I mean, this is VP for Student Affairs, Enrollment Management for SFSU, Dr. Jamila Moore, praised students as peaceful. A new letter to students who ambushed Riley Gaines. If peaceful means putting your hands on them, holding up for ransom, it certainly was that. I mean, it's great. I think that this is going to get far worse. I think that the lawsuits are going to be very, 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 very important. Very important. Because this is what, actually drives change with these universities. By the way, I'm not sure SFSU probably gets some level of state funds, and that's not going to go over well with their boards, I suspect. Like when they start, you see here, Gaines joined Fox News. This does not deter me. It assures me that I'm doing the right thing. She said Friday on Tucker Carlson Tonight. This will not silence me. When they want me to be silenced, it just means I need to speak louder. Gaines plans to identify those who put their hands on her and press charges. They will face repercussions. I agree. I mean, 100%. And the fact that the university would gaslight and just lie in this manner is shocking. You know, you see swimming champion Riley Gaines' responses to the email statement issued by San Francisco State University. Let's see.
I was made aware of the email last night.
And obviously very general, but go in any direction you feel like. What was your immediate reaction?
When I saw this email, one of my friends who goes to the university sent it to me, and I had to reread it because there was clearly no mention of what actually happened. Anything that actually occurred, there was no mention of it. What they described in that email was how proud they were of their brave students who...
What I think is funny with a lot of these professors, right? I've said this before, and it's like they're living out their own weirdo fantasies where they feel like they can put their hands on people, go after them, you know, hit and punch them and have no consequences. They treat these students like useful idiots, and many of them act as such. Now, we still don't know if these people at the protests were in fact students or not. And certainly there will be some more investigation. The internet's generally pretty good at figuring out who certain people are, at unmasking certain individuals. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how big these lawsuits are. And I'm 100% here for them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. We'll talk to you again real soon.